The Star Mazda Championship points leader Adrian Cario has seen the good and the bad this season on his way to 2 wins and 6 podium finishes. But this weekend, veteran Pablo Donoso returns to challenge a new crop of hard chargers. Road America, the site of round number 9 of the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Johnny O'Connell, and we're ready to attack this beautiful scenic racetrack here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And Johnny, this weekend, we have a returning star who comes back to a site that last year was not a good venue for him.
Yes, Pablo Donoso has returned, and this is a young kid who's awfully quick, and I expect excitement today.
Well, there's a good look at Pablo Donoso's car, and let's head downstairs to Kiora Balul, who spoke to him earlier.
This is Pablo Donoso's first Star Mazda race this season, and he's qualified second. Now, Pablo, I know last year you started in 6th at this track, and you weren't able to finish because of a crash. Is this unfinished business for you here today?
Yeah, sure. That was bad, and I want to give back my 45 points. They penalized me here, and I lost all my chances in the season the last year, but Tim Anderson invited me, and I will do my best.
What do you think of the Star Mazda field this year?
It's pretty good. Adrian Cario is very strong. I think the series is like the same. Maybe the last year was a little bit harder with Matos and Rahal, Pecorari, and all the guys. But now it's still hard. I will try to do the same.
Well, Pablo Donoso looking pretty serious and ready to go. And as you can see, we've got a great points battle. Michael Podium just 14 points behind Adrian Cario.
Yeah, you know, Michael and Adrian have been the dominant factors this year, but there are a lot of other guys that are gunning for a win.
Well, let's go back to the front end of the grid where Kiora spoke to the rest of the top 3 earlier today.
Adrian Cario is the current points leader and the pole sitter today. So, Adrian, I know that you broke the track record during qualifying by half a second. Are you going to try to break your own record again during the race here?
It's a tall order to play because, you know, in qualifying it usually is the limit. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, track conditions changed a lot. I mean, it looks like some weather is rolling in. Hopefully it doesn't get to rain. But, you know, we'll see. But, I mean, I think we'll put on a really good race and maybe a faster lap time. We'll see.
I know once you get up front in a race, you typically stay there, and obviously that's very important in the points race right now. What's your plan here to stay up front?
Well, that's the goal, is try to get out in front in the first corner. If not, you know, I'm going to try to play it safe. You know, like you said, I am the points lead, but I do need some good points. Fortunately, Pablo next to me, if he does get by, he isn't for the series, so I would still get first place points if I finish second. But like I said, I'm going to try to get out in front and try to run away.
Ron White is starting 3rd, and Ron, this is your first race with a brand new team, Ross Smith Racing, and I know you're used to running your own team and working on your own car. How different is this?
It's pretty laid-back vacation right now. I mean, I got an engineer, about 3 mechanics, so everything's going pretty good, and I can just concentrate on driving and working with Kent Stacy on the engineering. Maxwell Paper Products made it possible, Fulton Valley Farms, Valley Recyclers. There's a lot of people that made this happen before this team deal, so there's a lot of people I'd like to thank.
And I know at the Three Rivers race, where there's really not much room to pass on that track, you were able to move up in the field. So what's it going to be like here with the Road America track for you?
Pretty much it's, you know, there's a lot of room to pass, get a nice draft, and, you know, 3rd place just ain't 1st place. So we're going to try and see what we can do in the race and try and move on up a couple spots.
Well, they call him Ace, Adrian Cario. He leads the points, and the man who's battling with him is Michael Podium. But Podium didn't qualify too well here this weekend, not his norm. He's inside the top 10, but not as close to the front as he would have liked to have been. So Podium back in 8th position, standing by with Kiora.
Michael Podium, you're 2nd in points, but a little further behind in the field this time. How aggressive do you have to be in this particular race?
You know, qualifying's definitely disappointing today, but we've got a really good race car. Again, the grid is so close, and anything like Three Rivers, and we'll be right there at front again.
Well, could this be Ron White's opportunity to get that win, or maybe Logan Gomez? Find out when we come back to Speed. Speed's coverage of the Star Mazda Championship, presented by Goodyear, is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. By Goodyear Assurance, featuring triple tread technology. And by Mobile One Extended Performance, the oil that's changing oil. Well, the field is getting underway here. Oh, and Michael Podium has spun on the pace lap.
Boy, that is unbelievable. Again, he's in the midst of a championship battle here, and I don't know whether he's going to lose his starting position. Just warming up his tires. Whoa!
That's down at turn 1. But Podium's just had a rough weekend all the way around, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Now, he should probably get his proper starting position, but again, mentally, that's just going to ruin his psyche. I mean, he's already got a little bit of a lack of confidence going on, and that's you see him, working those tires again, trying to get some heat and pressure in him, but that's certainly not going to build his confidence.
And not the first time he's been off the track this weekend. He went off in Friday morning practice, bounced through the gravel, and it's just been one of those weekends. Well, here's Kiora with his crew chief.
Michael Podium is really in the thick of things when it comes to this points battle. What's happening out there?
Well, we didn't have quite the results that we wanted to in qualifying, so Mike's probably thinking about just getting to the front right now, and after qualifying, we tried a new setup on the car, and he probably wasn't aware of what was going on with the car. Might have been a little bit loose on him, and he just got around on him. That's about it.
That's a really tough deal. What he just said about them changing the setup after qualifying. So he's going into a race here, not really knowing his car or what it's going to do. As we look at a map of Road America, Elkhart Lake, old historic circuit, and one of everybody's favorites. You've got a lot of long straightaways and a lot of very fast corners. One of the coolest corners in racing in the United States here. That's turn 11, the kink. These guys are going to be flat out in top gear.
And here they come down to Canada Corner as we take a look at our starting grid. Adrian Cario and Pablo Donoso on the front row.
And row 2, Ron White and Logan Gomez. Great performance by them.
Brian Justice has been fast throughout the season, as has Mark Wilkins. They'll make up row 3.
And on row 4, Gerardo Bonilla and Mike Podium.
Well, Johnny, based on what we heard as we look at row 5, where Kevin Lacroix and Matt Varsha sit, are you surprised that Podium would gamble on a setup supposedly is radically different?
Well, that just kind of shows that they've been a little bit frustrated. Road America, you really have to have a great setup, and you can either go with low downforce to get down the straightaways fast or high downforce to get to the corners a little bit quicker and brake a little bit deeper. So you might see a couple different philosophies going on with setup as this race goes on. But again, no matter what's going to happen, we're in for a good show, especially with Donoso here.
You can see we've got some onboards. A little maybe intimidation on the front row. Donoso kind of moving over towards Cario. Cario getting the jump as we go green. Everybody fanning out as we come to turn 1 and look at Ron White making the move up the inside into second.
And so far, everybody nice and clean through turn 1. That's always a big problem here at Elkhart Lake. They're going in there so fast. Justice to the inside.
Donoso goes from second to 4th. Down to turn number 5. A high-speed run through here. And here comes turn 5, a hard braking area.
A great overtaking area. Logan Gomez there, you can see working on Donoso. All these guys, they'll come in here working their brakes. Whoa, using all the road.
That's on board with Gomez. Turn 6, Matt Varsha to the inside. Gets him, and is that Donoso going wide? Yep, Donoso just in front of Varsha. Almost loses another spot.
Man, that was a huge moment there for Logan Gomez, and you know what, really heads up driving by Matt Varsha, giving him the room that he needed. Through turn 8, now they're coming up into the carousel, really long 4th gear corner.
And not really a variety of lines through there, is there? Here's the onboard look from Logan Gomez. You can see Donoso got a bad start.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking, whether he missed a gear there or not, but again, you see Ron White going on the inside of Gomez, Donoso. Gomez looking on the outside.
There's Ryan Justice to the inside there. Now back to the action, and we're almost done with the first lap, and Gomez now has gotten by Varsha, and look at everybody going wide off this last corner, trying to carry as much speed as they can up this long hill. Now there's Michael Podium in the 53, and Johnny, he had a new setup on this car coming into the race. Apparently it's not working very well. He's gone from 8th all the way back to about 13th as they head off to turn 1 again.
And he's going to be very frustrated. We watch him go through the corner. Now, the car right there didn't look like it was doing anything evil, but we need to watch how he's coming off these corners. Again,
we're watching the white 53 there.
And he spun on that opening lap, which means he's probably a little bit on the loose side. But, again, we'll have to watch him. And you know what? It's possible that he's running a high downforce setup. Whoa!
That's back to the front. That's Cario. And Ron White in the blue and white machine right behind him as they come through 5.
Now, we've been impressed all season long, especially the last couple races, with how Ron White has been performing, how well he's driving while working on his own car and doing all his own mechanic work. I mean, that's pretty darn impressive. This is his first weekend, really, you know, on the same playing field as the other drivers, just being a driver, and I think that's probably going to give him some really good results here.
How hard is it for some guys, as you see Logan Gomez, to detach themselves from that, though? I mean, some guys just like having their hands in it. We'll find out if it's good for Ron White or difficult for him as we move on through round 9. Miss the race? Want to know more? No one gets you closer to the action with more news, analysis, and results than SpeedTV.com. High-octane racing, high-octane news, and information only at SpeedTV.com, your one-stop shop for everything speed. We're back to round number 9 of the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear here at Road America. That's Ryan Justice in the blue and white 38. He's moved himself up into 2nd. He's got the yellow rear wing. He's just gotten in front of Ron White, who had held 2nd once the green fell. They're chasing Adrian Cario, which is the red car just in front of him. Now let's show you how Justice got around him.
You know, and that's good driving there by Ron White. I mean, Justice had the inside. He gave him the room to work there, and realizing that there's still a long way to go here. You know, Ron White's looking very racy today. Seems like he has a good car under him, so there's plenty of time to get back. But the one thing they don't want to do is lose touch with Adrian Cario at the front.
That's Matt Varsha in the red 45, and Mark Wilkins, the white car with the red nose, trying to tuck to the inside at turn 1. Oh, Varsha dips the wheel off and keeps it straight. This is a fight over 7th place. Whoa, Matt is around. Oh, and he noses it into the wall. Matt Varsha in the top 5 in the series point standings, running in 7th and now off the course.
You know what, though? I don't think he hurt the car bad. I mean, yeah, he did touch the nose of the car to the barrier, but, you know, no suspension there. And really what happened there is he just dropped a wheel, overcorrected, and around he went.
And Matt's going again. Headed down towards turn number 5. Let's go back and see what happened. You can see a little bit of damage to the nose of the car. Let's see what happened here coming out of turn 2.
Now, if you watch him, I'm pretty sure he drops a wheel right there. Yeah. But he was already well loose before then.
He was, wasn't he?
And, you know, again, caught up in the battle, a little bit of a crunch there on the nose.
He's lucky, too, Johnny. He got that second section of wall. Had he hit the first one, might have spun the car again and backed him into the wall, doing damage at both ends. Here, little cosmetic damage to the front, and he's able to continue on.
Yeah, that won't cost him too much as we get back to the leaders. You look, and I think Ron White has gotten back by Justice, and it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys can run down Cario. Cario, when he leads, is very, very strong. Doesn't make mistakes. It's nice, smooth, and clean. And, man,
Wow!
Man.
Oh, and another car is off. That's Rob Bunker. That's at Canada, just past Canada Corner.
Yeah, turn 12, and I don't know how badly that car is damaged, whether or not he's going to be able to get that thing going, or whether this might bring out a caution.
Looks like the rear wing is off, Johnny. Let's see. And he dips the wheel.
Now, the thing about this racetrack, Ralph, is that online you have grip. But in several corners, the carousel being one and Canada Corner being another, whoa, there's a souvenir for the fans. You know what? You get out wide, and especially, you know, on a ALMS weekend like this, there's just a ton of marbles, and you're 2-3 feet wide, and you're going to pick up those marbles and get a spin, which is what happened to Bunker there.
Well, we have just got local yellows, so we stay racy up at the front of the field. This is Logan Gomez giving us a view. As Johnny mentioned, the Star Mazda Championship running as a support to the American Le Mans Series here this weekend at Road America.
You know, this is kind of cool because, you know, Gomez the past couple of races has been getting closer and closer to the front, and he's doing a nice job today. A little bit racy, you know, but he's being smart too. Again, you know, I go back to, you know, when he was putting pressure on Varsha, trying to get Varsha to make a mistake. Both of them doing a good job. Right now, you see him going up to the kink, one of the best corners in racing. Oh, man, you have no idea how fast that is.
And he grabbed another gear. And now headed down to Canada Corner. And Gomez, his best finish of the year, Johnny, a 4th in Montreal. He's been in and out of the top 5. He's had 2 top 5 runs, Montreal and then Salt Lake the very next week. And 3 races also in the top 10, beginning at Sebring, Mid-Ohio. Oh, man. Big problem. Ron White.
And that took Justice with him. It looks like Ron White, and White's going again, but White ran a little bit wide there like he had previously. Started spinning, and I think Justice had to lift to avoid him.
There's White. Well, let's go back and take a look and see what happened here.
See them coming through 14. All right, now Ron's already spinning there. And then you got Justice getting out of throttle, having to touch the brakes to avoid from hitting him.
Now here's Logan Gomez's view. That's Donoso right in front of them.
Oh, and Gomez has a run here. I bet he gets Donoso on this. Donoso defending the inside.
Well, he just powers right by him, doesn't he?
You know, again, that's that momentum. Moves to the inside a little bit, protects his line from Donoso.
And there's Adrian Cario. No problems for the driver out front. And he's got a huge lead at this point, Johnny.
Yeah, you know, his crew chief's going to let him know that he's got a big lead. Just hit your marks, no big chances. Again, he's a really smart young kid in that, you know, I think he sees the big picture about winning the championship, and that's what in his mind is on right now.
So Gomez is up to 2nd. Donoso is running in 3rd, and Ron White's crew is wondering what's going on with their driver. We'll be right back. We're back to Road America at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This is round 9 of the Star Mazda Championship here on Speed. Logan Gomez, Pablo Donoso, that's 2nd and 3rd going by as the rest of the field charges up to the end of this very long front straightaway. There's Ron White in the 69, chasing Romero Scuncio at this stage of the game. Romero in the 22 car, that black machine. White has been as far up as 2nd place, just spun off the course in the last corner. He's gathered it back up and trying to work his way back towards the front.
Coming up into turn 5, see if he tries to outbrake him. Not close enough. You know, White's car does look like it's a little bit on the loose side. You can see the back end moving around a little bit, both in and out of the corners. And I'm sure he's pretty darn frustrated about what happened to him. Again, you know, here's a young guy looking to win races and establish himself. He's with a new team, and the last thing you want to do is make a mistake like that. Again, he was running great, but you know, he's got really good car control. I mean, I like seeing how he gathers the car up, but again, all it takes is that one time where you don't gather it up, and all the hard work that you were putting in is all lost.
Like the last corner about a lap or so ago.
Oh, man. Now, this is a carousel. You can see these guys sliding the car, but they're all actually running a little bit on the wide side. You know, again, you go on the wide side and you're in those marbles, and it just makes it so much more difficult to get through that corner.
Through the kink and down to Canada Corner.
You know, and Scuccio's looking very good. We've not spoken about him, but his car looks well balanced, and he's doing a nice thing.
Whoa, Kevin Lacroix. Well, he saved it. There's Lacroix right there in the 74. But he lost a spot to Gerardo Bonilla.
He has Bonilla shooting there on the inside, and Lacroix being a Canadian cowboy right there in Canada Corner. And, you know, he's lucky he got away with that one, because that could have turned him backwards pretty easily.
Cario just no problems up front. And second and third. Hanging in there, and Mark Wilkins in fourth, but they're not really gaining any ground on Cario.
You know, and when we get back to Gomez, watch him because he's very twitchy under braking. I don't know whether, you know, his car might be a little bit too much on the loose side. You know, as you watch Wilkins right there, you can see when he enters the corner, it's nice and clean. Gomez there in front of Donoso, his car under braking is a little bit twitchy. Defending the inside there.
Down to turn 5.
Oh, Donoso, so close.
Looking off the back of Logan Gomez's machine at Donoso through 6. Oh, and the caution is out because of John Pugh. The 15 car is way off into a gravel trap.
I don't know where that is, but it's actually a really good break for Ron White. He's going to be able to make up a lot of ground.
Well, Rob Bunker crashed out earlier today. He's made it back to the pits, and Kior's with him.
Okay, Rob, you were out early in the last race. Now problems during this race. What happened out there?
It was actually mostly my fault, believe it or not. I went down to Canada corner, went for a pass. Car darted back to the left a little bit. I put a little extra weight on the outside rear tire and just sent the car around, got up on the curb, and backed it into a wall. So my team's doing the best they can to get me back out there and score a few points, but unfortunately our weekends didn't end up like we really wanted it to.
A lot of rocks getting pulled out of John Pugh's machine. The corner workers will sweep that up. We'll get Pugh back to the pits. We'll take a quick break and come right back to Road America. Speed's coverage of the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. Getting ready for a restart here of round number 9. Star Mazda Championship, well, one car off the track a little bit as we come up the hill to the green flag.
Good start there by Cario. I think he timed that one pretty well, but everyone else behind him, I don't know whether they were playing games with each other.
Oh, and Ron White picks up a spot. It's around Bonilla. Here's Mark Patterson's view. Through turn 1.
Picking up a position. He might get another here going into 3.
Oh, and Dan Wayland is off.
Boy, that would have been on the restart. That's turn 14, so I don't know what happened to Dan, whether they'll be able to get him out of there or not, or whether they're going to have to go full course cautioning. Oh, man.
Boy. Ron White gains another spot, so that should move White up to about 5th or 4th. I guess 5th place now.
Again, Ron White driving very aggressively today, and, you know, he's got to feel very motivated after spinning off and being given an opportunity with his caution to get back to where he might be able to get on the podium.
Oh, Scunzio puts a couple of wheels off as he was working Mark Wilkins, who's in Daniel Harrington's car for the second time this season.
Oh,
There's
man.
Michael Podium in that white 53 trying to make up lost ground. Remember, he's second in the championship behind Cario. Started 8th, fell way back into the field, and is trying to fight his way back in to salvage as many points as he can, while Cario has led this thing since the very beginning.
Polikin got very lucky there running that outside line, and right now he's being a little bit defensive going into Canada corner, taking an inside line.
They put that new aggressive setup under the car, Johnny, before the start of the race today, and doesn't really seems to be doing a whole lot for him. He has not gained as much speed as he wanted. Remember, Whelan's car should be off to the left, right, and there, man! Oh, boy.
Wow. Wow, I would not like to be one of those corner workers. That is a really dicey deal there. You know, again, you know, well, man, there's some jockeying going on all over this place.
It was Ron White going after Kevin Lacroix. This is the only thing that's closed the gap up to Cario, too. He's not been able to shake Gomez on this restart.
Yeah, you know, Gomez is looking really quick this weekend. He might be one of the few guys out there that has something for Cario. He's pulled away a little bit from Donoso. White now really pushing hard for third place. He's got the line. He's on the inside. Excuse me, that would be for fourth.
Oh, man, what is that? That's Podium and Mickey Gilbert. And that's Podium throwing the steering wheel. I'm not sure what that is all about. But Michael Podium is furious, and my guess is Gilbert's going to be a little uptight when he gets out.
Think they're this guy?
Holy cow!
What do you say we go back, have a bratwurst, beer?
Boy, I mean, holy cow!
No,
Podium just, I mean, he's had a horrible weekend, and it's all coming out right there. Oh man!
Well, you know what? The guy that was in front, I don't know. I think that might have been Scuncio, is actually the one that precipitated it all. I mean, if I was Mickey Gilbert, I'd be pretty darn ticked off at the way Podium was acting there.
Well, I would say so, yeah. And the officials have thrown, and there's Scuncio. He's leaving the helmet on.
Yeah.
You've seen how the other two are acting. That's probably not a bad call.
He's far enough away, they'd have to take a run to get to him. But,
and running through that gravel trap would take you a day and a half.
You know, obviously very upset Michael Podium. Championship aspirations are falling away.
My guess is we'll be looking at that again when we come back to Road America, where AJ Cario continues to lead. Tomorrow on Speed, it's the all-new Speed Report. Go beyond the highlights and beyond the stats. Get the why with the Speed Report tomorrow, 8 Eastern and Pacific, only on Speed. No comment, Johnny?
That's a fine-looking chipmunk. They grown good here in Wisconsin as they tow Podium's car away. Boy, a darn shame for him and his championship aspirations, but this was just an awful weekend for him.
Yeah, it definitely was. And we might see some reactions from the officials out of that, too, before this one is all over.
Yeah, and it's hard because, you know, again, you're so emotional. You work all year for a championship, and to have it slip away, boy, that's a frustrating deal.
Well, here's Kiora with this week's question of the week.
Drivers stay focused on race weekends, but when there is no race, drivers do different things with their downtime. So what's the perfect non-race weekend for them?
Snow skiing. Helicopter skiing, exactly, would be my perfect non-racing weekend.
Probably a lot of relaxing. Racing weekends are so hectic. You like to sort of calm down with a nice relaxing laying around the house or something like that.
Out on my boat in eastern Washington, enjoying the sun, wakeboarding, and just having a good time.
I feel like it's been a lot of traveling recently, so I'm ready just for my own bed. Would be a perfect weekend right now.
I flew my plane down to Cabo San Lucas, long flight by the way, and I just sat on the beach and relaxed and lived on chips and salsa and margaritas for a few days.
Going to the lake or the river and just chilling out, swimming, riding some Sea-Doos, driving the boat.
I think probably just go cycling, work out, and just sort of relax. I mean, the perfect weekend for me is racing, so it's tough to kind of get out of that speed, but just to relax and, you know, go cycling.
Taking a jog in the morning and then going to the beach all day long and with friends and my girlfriend, that's it.
I'd say doing exactly what I want, which is pretty much, you know, nothing, just hanging out, just sleeping, doing exactly what I need to be doing.
Well, considering the fact that I spend about 200 and some odd days a year on the road, just sitting by the pool drinking a beer with my wife is probably the perfect weekend.
Hopping in my plane and on the way to the airport, deciding where to go. So maybe just, you know, spontaneous.
It's got to be time with friends, time with family, and you know what? Coaching. When I'm not racing, I love coaching. And so I work for Skip Barber Racing School when I'm not racing and have a blast with age groups that are over 40. We have a Masters Championship. It's a blast to coach those guys. They're a bunch of lunatics. And you think it's crazy in Star Mazda. The Skip Barber Masters Series is nuts.
Non-racing weekend. I don't understand the question. What's that?
Well, Johnny, what's a perfect weekend for you away from the track?
I'm thinking hanging out with these guys that have planes, man. I gotta go buddy up to them, man. That sounds like my type.
You don't have your own plane, huh?
It's a little model
Shocking.
thing.
Done. Amazed by that. All right, Adrian Cario. He's got the lead when we come back. Tomorrow on Speed, step into the wind tunnel with Dave Despain. Get fired up, then fill Dave's voicemail at 1-866-W-TUNNEL all weekend long. The more animated, the more you'll be heard. Don't miss Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain tomorrow 9 Eastern on Speed. We're in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America is the site of round number 9 of the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear. Here's why we're under yellow.
You know, and really hard to say there, really what happened, you know. Scuncio at the front there was losing at first.
Oh, and then Michael Potikin goes after Mickey Gilbert's car.
Man, it's kind of like Jack Nicholson in The Shining right there. He had his moment and worked it out. I'm sure he's going to be frustrated later.
You reached deep for that, didn't you?
You know, it's a gift.
Here's Kiora.
Star Mazda officials have never made penalties public until now. They'll be announcing all penalties from this race on to help cut down on the number of problems and let drivers know that they're following up on issues. So far, there have been 150 penalties this season.
Well, my guess is Potikin's probably going to be hearing from the officials. What do you think of that, Johnny, making all these penalties public? Would that shame you into not causing a penalty?
No, I like the idea. You know, again, these guys it's a learning series and all that kind of stuff. And, I mean, if you just put them in the corner for timeout, I don't think it means enough to these guys. So, yeah, making it a little bit more public, I think, is a good idea.
Here's Cario leading the pack back to the green. The yellows are about the only thing that have closed the gap to Cario all day long.
Man,
and Donoso goes swinging from the outside to the inside, trying to get around Logan Gomez.
You know, he got a good run out of one there. Gomez squeezing him. Not close enough.
And guess who's back and forth? Ron White. Arguably one of the fastest cars here all weekend. Now he's looking at Donoso on the outside, which will become the inside when they get to 5.
Whether or not he's long side, we'll find out here in a second. Oh, he's got it. You know, and earlier in the day, I talked about, you know, 2 different ways to set up your car for Road America. One with a lot of downforce and one with less downforce so you can get down the straightaways quicker. And I guess Ron White is good with a low downforce setup because he seems to have very good straightaway speed.
And we saw Justice get around Mark Wilkins as well. Oh, and Ken Loesch is around in the Apex Racing entry. And he's got company, Emmett Murphy.
And that car's broken. He's got a rear toe link.
3 others.
Broken, so I don't know whether Emmett's getting back around. These other guys, they might make a lap, but I think they're all going to need to stop in the pits for a little bit of attention.
Meanwhile, back at the front. Gomez going for his best finish of the season. Here's why we had all these guys spinning off. This turn 1, that's Emmett Murphy. Whoa.
Now he's still
okay.
Tomlin,
I think, that almost got him. Now here's Mark Patterson's on board at 5. I guess Ken
Oh, and there's contact there. Now that was actually a really nice move.
And there's Loesch, who spun because of the deal with Patterson avoiding the car in front of him.
But yeah, no, that was actually a really nice move going to the inside there, but there's a rise, and he chose to hit the brakes and go down a gear right at that rise, and I think that's probably why he lost it. One of the interesting little tidbits about Road America. I mean, I tell you what, I've been running this place for 20 years, and every year you learn a little bit more about the circuit, so you know the way the contours are and where the bumps are, and all these little things make a difference big time with how you perform here. And one of the guys that's got it figured out right now really looks like it's Ron White. I mean, he's been on a tear. He's gotten lucky. The cat uses so much road, but he's having a good run today.
Well, Cario continues to lead Gomez, but White's on the charge. So far here today, it's been all about Adrian Cario and his Star Mazda championship machine. Of course, all these cars powered by the Renesis engine, same Mazda motor that you'll find in the local RX-8, or I should say the RX-8 at your local Mazda dealer. Ron White getting good power out of his machine. He's that blue and white car right behind Logan Gomez.
And Donoso closing in on Ron White. But right now, Gomez is starting to get a little bit of defensive. You know, he looked at the inside of Cario, didn't have the minimum. Look at Ron White, though. He's pulling on down the straightaway. So he's definitely running a little less downforce. He's got it.
Great move to take over second. And Ron White, this track is 4 miles in length. There's a lot of asphalt around here, but Ron has used up every bit of it and then some today. Boy, Gomez coming back.
You know what? And Gomez,
oh boy.
No, that might have cost him. That was a brilliant save, but if Donoso's right on him, Donoso might have room to get by.
Well, he's pushing hard.
You know, and this is where, you know, if you're on the radio with him, you're telling him, okay, settle down, you got time here. Okay, reel him back in. He's actually got a nice line through the carousel here.
But look at how far wide Ron White is, Johnny, through the carousel.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a full groove up.
And he lost a little bit of his advantage there.
Oh, we got problems for Justice. But you can see how dirty it gets offline, too.
Yeah, really, really dirty there. Now, Justice, you know, he's going to have a ton of pickup through running through all that stuff, so he's going to have to really be careful going through the kink here.
And the laps are winding down in a hurry here, so everybody feeling the pressure as we're late into the season and late into this race. And they'll be seeing the white flag this next time by.
Don't know what happened to Justice there, whether or not he got helped off or ran a little bit wide. But right now, white flag for Adrian Cario. Ron White second. This is going to be killer.
Cario has finally had a challenge. Ron White to the outside. This is the most pressure Cario has felt all day long. He's got 1 4-mile lap left to go.
And Cario taking a very defensive line here going into 3. You know, Ron White, he's had really good top end. And that mistake by Cario not opening up his line going into 3 could end up costing him.
Because this is where White took over second place. He gets a great run through here.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him.
Oh, he does. Cario did not want to squeeze him. And I'll tell you what, Gomez might make it 3 wide.
Oh, no, that ain't going to work. That one going to... Oh, man.
Oh, hang on, Logan.
You know what? He'd have been better off just tucking in behind Ron White there, because Ron would have forced Cario to the outside, and that was just a really, you know, ambitious move. You know, you're 17, 18 years old, you see a gap, you want to go to it, but again, you got to do the math in your head. Ron White, very impressive performance after that spin.
Well, and Logan Gomez just saw a best finish of the year evaporate. Third would have been the best he's had all year. He's had a season best of 4th, and now he's just dropped like a rock going off the course like that. Now, and that's Donoso up to 3rd now.
And really a nice job from Donoso. Those guys battling helped Donoso close up a little bit. But what I think you're going to see right here is Cario, you know, doing what he can. But again, as young as he is, he's a pretty smart guy. And I think he does see the big picture about winning the championship. And I'd be surprised if he does take a big chance move.
And with Podium out, this is going to be a huge points day for Adrian Cario. Well, Ron White had a 2nd place finish taken away from him at Miller Motorsports Park, which his best finish of the year, due to the fact that once he had taken the checkered flag, his crew, which was all voluntary, took the car back to the trailer, not to the tech shed to get weighed and scaled and everything else. So this will be Ron White's first win in the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear. We've said all along, Johnny, this guy's going to find victory lane sooner than later. He does it here today at Road America.
You know, really impressive. I mean, how fast he was, and again, they obviously gave him a good car. Now, now watch it. There you see Gomez. White's already made the pass. Wow. All right, that was very, very lucky. I'd be surprised if his tub's not a little bit damaged after that. That was a really solid hit. That's why we lost the feed.
Well, this is the first weekend that Ron White could just focus on driving. Now working with the Ross Smith team, and it worked out. He's a winner, and we'll talk to him when we come back. Tonight's coverage of the Star Mazda Championship presented by Goodyear is brought to you by Mazda. There's a soul of a sports car in everything we make. And by Goodyear Assurance, featuring triple tread technology. Let's show you the top 10 out of today's race. Ron White, what a drive today, Johnny.
You know, and an exceptional run by him, but also by Cario and Donoso as well.
Well, he's now with Kiora.
Ron White, what a stunning comeback for you. You had a little trouble, a spin out. You were able to come back from that and take the race in the last lap.
Yeah, I mean, I can't ask for a lot more, you know. Basically, the RSR team, Danny, Ken Stacy doing the engineering. These guys are one of the best teams for the first race. So, I mean, you know, RC20, Fulton Valley Farms, Joe, my father Joe. There's a lot of people that helped me out this year. Also, Maxwell Paper Products. This is a 4-race deal we got together for the next 4 races, and I think this might make it a little sweeter, as well as RC20 for keeping the engine cool.
I know that you had talked about being with a new team and actually being able to focus on just being a driver. What sort of difference did that make for you?
It definitely puts a lot of weight on my shoulders for driving. They came through on the mechanical. I made a little slide air on the track. Got lucky to come back, and the thing was fast enough to put it on the front or win the thing.
And we talked also about your passing skills. Obviously, those came in handy in this race.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boat. You get going real fast, so the anchor out at the last minute to try and make it stop. So if you're on the inside, you definitely got the lane.
Well, with a 4-race deal, I'm sure that's going to make everybody nervous for the next 4 rounds of competition. Here's 11th through 20th. Matt Varshin, 14th. Here's Kiora with our points leader.
Adrian, you were leading most every lap except right there at the end. What happened?
It's unfortunate. You know, we had a great team, but what happened was, you know, that yellow just really messed me up. That gap I had, I was a lot faster. It seemed like this front came in and really cooled down the track. So that was what was the main problem. I was keeping ahead of them, but I kept on locking my tires going into the corners because the brake zones slow down so much because of the temperature, and slightly flat spotted the tires, and that's why he got by me. It's unfortunate, you know, for the team. I mean, I think we really had that one easy. I mean, it's never easy, but I think we really had it well. It's just unfortunate that yellow came out because, you know, the car never really went away. It was just, like I said, it was just the temperature of the track, and now the sun comes out. Just my luck, but it was a great run, you know, because Podokin didn't finish. You know, he was in second place, so extended the points lead for sure. But, you know, would have liked to have the win, but we'll take second.
Pablo Donoso, as you take a look at the rest of the field, came in here looking to make good from last year. He ends up 3rd, and now is with Kiora.
Pablo, this was your first Star Mazda race of the season. Obviously, a different outcome at Road America as opposed to last year for you.
Yeah, now it was better. The last year was bad. It was a sad race for me because the series penalized me with 45 points, and I lost all the chances in the championship. But well, we changed the page now. I came with Tim Anderson. They invited me. We did a good job. We finished third. I'm not pretty happy because I like win, but it's okay. It's okay when you back to the series after 8 months. Finished 8th. Carey was strong. This guy White was pretty fast. In the last lap, they touch wheels. I get the 3rd place. It's okay. We finished in the podium. I'm not pretty happy, but it's not bad. Thanks.
Well, last year, Pablo Donoso lost 45 points. Guess what? After his major meltdown, Michael Podokin has lost 45 points, penalized by the series officials. He drops from 2nd to 5th. His championship is over, Johnny.
Yeah, more or less. You know, the door's still open, though, for Kevin Lacroix and Ryan Justice. Not impossible, but right now, Adrian Cario is the man in control of this series.
Wow, what a day for Michael Podokin and Adrian Cario. The series moves on to Mossport Park. You'll see it here on Speed Round 10, Saturday, September 9th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And coming up next, a little straight line action with the IHRA Drag Racing Series here on Speed. Well, Johnny, we heard Ron White say this is a 4-race deal. There's 3 left to go. Can he sweep them, do you think?
You know, it's not impossible. He's really shown himself to be fast on the faster circuits, like here, like Miller Motorsports in Utah. And with Mossport next, that's a great circuit. I think it's going to suit his style.
And Adrian Cario has extended his points lead. You'll have to wonder how hard he's going to push these last couple of rounds with a championship at stake. Well, for Kiora Belul and Johnny O'Connell, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long for Road America, and congratulations to Ron White on his first career Star Mazda Championship race win.